There are things you hear as a child that seem silly. Until one day, when your life depends on them. They come rushing back, like a whisper from the past. My father, he was a battlefield medic in World War II. Quiet man. Big hands. Never wasted words. But at dinner, he always said one thing. Chew every bite 30 times. He said it like a ritual, every meal. No exceptions. We kids would roll our eyes, mimic him behind his back. And laugh when he wasn't looking. Once, when I was about 10, I finally asked. Dad, why 30? Why not just chew until it's gone? He put down his fork, looked me square in the eye, and said. Because your stomach doesn't have teeth. And your heart doesn't like it when digestion gets lazy. At the time, I thought it was nonsense. But now, after what happened to me, I think it may be the smartest thing anyone ever said to me. Fast forward 60 years. I'm lying in a hospital bed. Tubes in my arms. Machines are humming around me. Diagnosis. Major heart attack. Cause, plaque buildup from years of living wrong. Too much speed. Too much salt. Too many seconds are spent chewing life instead of tasting it. I wasn't even afraid. I was just tired. And in that quiet, sterile hospital room, I remembered my father's voice again. Not shouting. Not scolding. Just, reminding. After I got home, I couldn't shake that memory. So I dug through my garage, looking for nothing in particular. Just looking. Then, I found an old shoebox. Inside were cassette tapes, dusty, cracked, forgotten. One of them said, Nutrition Conference, 1944. I laughed out loud. Who took health advice from a time before antibiotics were common? But something told me to press play. Track 3, chew 30 times. A raspy old voice spoke through the static. A doctor from a different century. Talking about chewing as medicine. Food is a function, and the gut is the second brain. He said this. Fast eating shortens life. Chewing is breathing for the gut. Every bite you rush, is a breath your heart skips. I hit pause. And in that moment, something clicked. Everything made sense. My father wasn't being old-fashioned. He was ahead of his time. This wasn't just an old tape. It was a time capsule. A second chance. So now, let me ask you something. What if the answer to better digestion? To calmer blood pressure? To a heart that doesn't panic at 2 a.m.? Isn't it a pill? Isn't it a trend? What if it's a habit so old? Did we stop believing in it? What if your fork is fine, but your chewing is broken? This is the story of a voice from 1944. Of forgotten science. Of a man trying to rewrite his ending. One slow bite at a time. I'm Harold. I'm 76. And if you have a cup of tea, pull up a chair. Let's talk about chewing. And why it just might save your life. Back then, I thought I knew everything. I'd sit through those senior center health talks and secretly roll my eyes. You know the kind. Eat your greens. Cut the salt. Chew 30 times. I used to whisper to my friend Ed, what's next? Pray before you swallow. I wasn't reckless. I walked 3 miles a day. Never smoked. I drank only on holidays. I figured, that's enough. But I didn't realize how much damage small things could do when repeated over decades. Then one morning, I was trimming the roses in my backyard. A warm June day. Nothing unusual. Until suddenly, I felt hollow. Like someone drained the air out of me. No pain. Just heat, dizziness, then darkness. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital room. The beep of monitors. The sting of oxygen tubes. My daughter gripped my hand, whispering, "Dad, you scared us." Then came Dr. Keller. No nonsense. A face carved from granite. He looked at my chart and said calmly, "Mr. Bennett, your LAD artery was 95% blocked. That's what we call the Widowmaker." I didn't know whether to cry or curse. That name, Widowmaker. It tells you everything without saying anything. I told him, "Doc, I've done everything right. No junk food, no booze. I even do yoga on Thursdays." He looked me dead in the eye and said, "Sometimes, it's not what you do, it's what you repeat. And sir, you've been repeating fast eating for decades." I was speechless. He explained it simply. When you eat fast, your body struggles. Food enters the bloodstream too quickly. Glucose spikes. Triglycerides soar. Your arteries, already stiff with age, take hit after hit. Then he dropped this line. "Mr. Bennett, chewing slowly is not just for digestion. It's for your heart, and possibly, your brain too." He handed me a folder. Inside was a study published in Circulation, 2018 by American Heart Association. It showed that elderly patients who chewed greater than or equal to 30 times had lower post-meal blood fats, better glycemic control and reduced cardiac strain. Another study, this one from Japan, linked slow chewing to better memory scores. The link? Blood flow. Chewing increases cerebral and coronary perfusion. Every bite, a tiny pump for the brain and the heart. I sat there stunned. No one had told me this. Not once. Not in my yearly checkups. Not in cardiac rehab. No one said, "Hey Harold, maybe try chewing like your life depends on it." And that night, as I lay in bed, still hearing the echo of Widowmaker, I stared at my untouched dinner tray. Same old meatloaf. Same old rush. But something inside me whispered, if chewing could change the numbers on a lab report, maybe it could rewrite the ending of my story. The next morning, I didn't just eat breakfast. I began an experiment, on myself. I didn't change overnight. No one does. But when your life has been spared, you start listening differently. After Dr. Keller's words and the forgotten wisdom from the 1944 recording, something shifted. I didn't want another prescription. I didn't want another scare. I wanted proof, my own. So I became the experiment. I made a promise, for 30 days, every single bite, I'd chew it 30 times. Not because I liked the idea, but because I was tired of flirting with the edge. Day 1, plain oatmeal and berries. Chewing each spoonful 30 times made me feel like I was stuck in slow motion. My breakfast, usually a 5-minute ritual, took nearly half an hour. By day 3, I created a simple logbook, the Chew Log. 4 columns: meal, chews per bite, fullness, energy level 2 hours after. I tracked everything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. It wasn't easy. I lost count. I got frustrated. But I kept chewing. Then, around day 5, I noticed something odd. My lunch didn't make me sleepy. I didn't feel heavy. The usual post-lunch crash never came. By the end of week 1, things began to stabilize. My evening cravings disappeared. My digestion was smoother. I didn't feel like I needed antacids every night. It wasn't magic, it was momentum. Week 2, I sent a copy of the Chew Log PDF to 5 old army friends. One replied, Al. A retired mechanic who hated health talk. Harold, I'll try it for a week, he said. But if I start chewing like a cow, I'm blaming you. By week 3, his message changed, dropped 3 pounds. My wife says I stopped snoring. What sorcery is this? It was no sorcery. Just chewing. Meanwhile, my tracker showed clear trends. I ate less, felt more satisfied, slept better, and, for the first time in a while, woke up without groaning. In week 4, I did what every senior fears: blood work. My triglycerides had dropped 12%. Glucose was more stable. Even CRP, a marker for inflammation, edged lower. Dr. Keller raised his eyebrows. "Harold, you might have just proven a theory no one bothered to test." He was half joking. But I took it seriously. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was about all of us who rushed through meals for 60 years, only to learn too late what a slow chew could have saved. I didn't change my whole diet. I didn't join a gym. I didn't go keto. I just started chewing. And if you're watching this, you can too. Below this video, there's a chew log PDF. Print it. Share it. Or just try tonight. No rules. No judgment. Just curiosity. Because sometimes, the smallest pause rewrites the rest of your story. After those 30 days of mindful chewing, my body started to change, but more than that, my mindset shifted. I no longer wanted to eat just to survive. I wanted to eat to remember. It started with an old drawer in my kitchen. A place I hadn't touched since my wife passed. Tucked in there, among expired coupons and dried-up pens. It was a weathered recipe card, in her handwriting. Carrot walnut crunch, serve chilled. Smile first. I ran my thumb over her cursive letters like they were braille. Suddenly, I could smell her hair again, hear her laugh in the kitchen. The old Glenn Campbell record is playing in the background. So I made the salad. Grate the carrots slowly. Crushed the walnuts. Squeezed that lemon with a quiet reverence. And as I took the first bite, it felt like I was chewing through time. Crunch. 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 It wasn't just food anymore. It was a ritual. A return. The chewing came naturally. The 30 count. Didn't even think about it. That salad demanded my attention. I didn't need motivation. The texture was the coach. So I went on a quest. What other forgotten meals, not smoothies, not mush, but real, whole, honest foods? Could it bring back my appetite for chewing? I called it the Bite Back menu. Not because it bites you, but because it makes you bite back with joy. Dr. Keller liked the idea. He told me, most seniors over-rely on soft meals. But chewing resistance builds saliva, strengthens oral muscles, and improves digestion. And may even reduce dementia risk due to more mastication-related blood flow to the brain. He wasn't just talking fluff. He cited a 2020 meta-review from Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, showing elderly adults with strong chewing function had better cognitive retention and emotional regulation. So now chewing wasn't just for the heart. It was for the mind, too. Isn't it wild that something as simple as chewing could connect your memory, your heart, and your joy, all through your teeth? That fired me up. I spent a whole week cooking like it was 1950. Fresh apple slices instead of applesauce. Cabbage slaw with vinegar and cracked pepper. Baked chickpeas tossed in paprika. And yes, my wife's rye toast is thick and nutty. Each dish made me pause. Made me listen to my food again. That's something I'd lost over the years. The sacred rhythm between hand, plate, and jaw. So here's what I did. I turned my tiny kitchen into a memory lab. Every week, I revive one forgotten chew-worthy meal, and I log how it affects my mood, my digestion, and my blood pressure. I've now compiled it all into a guide. Harold's Chew Revival Menu, 5 recipes that make you slow down and smile. You'll find it in the pinned comment and video description. Print it. Try one dish. Or just pick one thing with crunch tonight. Because chewing, it turns out, might not just be about saving your heart. It might be about finding it again. That night, I sat on my porch. A bowl of apple slices in one hand. My chew log notebook is in the other. I looked at the stars, the same ones my father looked at after dinner. The same ones my grandson now watches through his telescope. And it hit me. What we pass down isn't just genetics or family names. It's habits, small, stubborn rituals that either serve us or sentence us. I spent most of my life chewing fast through everything. Meals, moments, even people. Always rushing. Always swallowing. And yet, in the final third of my life, it was the act of slowing down that gave me back years. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health coach. I'm just an old man who almost didn't make it. And decided not to waste his second chance. So here's my invitation to you. Start with one meal. Chew with intention. Notice what happens to your stomach, yes, but also to your stories. Then, if you feel something shift, even a little, come join me. We've built a community called Live Strong with Harold. A Facebook group for folks like us, 60 plus, hearts with scars, souls still curious. Inside, you'll find our 30-day chew tracker. Downloadable bite-back meal plan. Weekly legacy letters from doctors translated into plain English. Stories. Laughter. Encouragement. You'll find the links in the description and pinned comment below. If your heart's still beating, it's not too late to rewrite the way it eats. And remember, your heart doesn't just need medicine. It needs memory. It needs rhythm. It needs you to slow down and come home to yourself. This is Harold Bennett, 76 years old. One heart attack behind me. And hopefully, a few more healthy, crunchy years ahead. Take care. And if you do try the chew challenge, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story.